Lesson 3.6, Proportional and Non-Proportional Relationships. Our essential question is, how do you write an equation in function notation to represent a graph? Our new vocab word is slope-intercept form, written in function notation. So that slope-intercept form says f of x equals mx plus b. It starts with f of x because that's function notation. So it's a function in terms of x, our independent variable. So the variable is x. The m and the b, those are not variables. M is where we will write the slope of the line, so that will be replaced with a number. And then b is where we write the y-intercept of the line, where the graph crosses the y-axis. So that is also a number. So we will fill in numbers before the x for the slope and after the x for the intercept. All right, our first example problem, please make sure you write this in your notes. So not only write an equation for this line in function notation, the directions, but please draw the graph. Take the time to draw the graph. So in function notation, our general form is f of x equals mx plus b. M represents the slope of our line, and b represents our y-intercept. So those are the two important pieces of information that we need to get from our graph. So the slope, remember slope is rise over run. So I'm just going to count that on my graph. Start at the point on the left. We read the slope from left to right, just like reading a word. So starting at the point on the left, I would have to go down 1 and then over 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is negative 1 over 4 because I went down 1 and then over 4 to the right. So f of x equals my slope, then the x, and then the intercept. The y-axis is the vertical axis. So the point where this blue line crosses the y-axis is right here at negative 1. So my final answer, f of x equals 1/4 x minus 1. Another example like that. So f of x equals mx plus b again. The slope of this line, starting at the point on the left, I would go up 1, 2, 3, 4 for the rise, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I go up 4 over 6, that reduces to 2/3. So my slope is 2/3. Then the letter x, and the intercept right here is at positive 1. So f of x equals 2/3 x plus 1. So the sign on the intercept affects whether this is a plus or a minus. If it's a positive intercept, it stays a plus. If it's a negative intercept, it becomes a minus. The next one, we are going to have to put our points on the graph. So we're looking for spots where the line goes right through the corner of one of the squares on the grid. So I think this is a good spot, and this one. So f of x equals mx plus b. I need my slope. So starting at the point on the left, I rise 3, run 2. So up 3 over 2, x, and my intercept right here is at negative 2. One more where we need to put the dots on the graph. The origin looks good, and then right here. F of x equals mx plus b. My slope, I'm starting at the point on the left, go down 1, over 1, 2, 3. So my slope is down 1, which means negative 1 over 3 to the right, negative 1/3 x. And then this one goes through the origin, so I don't need to write a plus 0 for my intercept. I can just leave it, f of x equals negative 1/3 x. Okay, another example. example where we need to put points on ourselves. There's 2 good points. The slope of my line, starting at the point on the left, I go down 3 over 2. So f of x equals negative 3 over 2x, and my intercept this time is positive 4, so plus 4. You should be able to write a summary now, answering our essential question, and then work on your homework assignment.